Boswell's Life of Johnson, Dr. Johnson takes Boswell off to one of the new and fashionable London suburbs. Takes him off, in fact, to Streatham and the home of the Thrales. Mr. Thrale was far from being a nobleman, but his house had the irresistible attractions of money, a groaning table, and a pretty wife.
Something to eat. Oh, Lord Chesterfield. So glad you came on.
The proprietor of all this must be happy.
All this excludes but one evil, sir. That of poverty.
Oh, dear Dr. Johnson.
Mrs. Thrale, may I present Mr. Boswell?
Charmed and delighted to meet you.
Dr. Goldsmith is telling the ladies and gentlemen of a female preacher whom he met in Ireland. He says she's quite superior.
He has spoken to me of her, sir. But I say that a woman preaching is like a dog walking on its hind legs. It is not done well, but we are surprised to see it done at all.
Oh, sir, that's wonderful, just wonderful. Confront Dr. Goldsmith with that, and we shall certainly have explosions.
Explosions, madam? No. Mere puffs, madam.
You remember, sir. How do you do, Doctor?
Oh, I don't think you two gentlemen have met Mr. Boswell.
No, I haven't.
Mr. David Garrick, Sir Joshua Reynolds.
How do you do, sir? Very happy.
If you will excuse the hostess.
Yes, Boswell. Observe, Mr. Boswell, how Dr. Johnson does pore over the library.
And he's hearing every word. More lives, I wager, have been ruined by gaming and card-playing than by spirits.
What say you to that, Dr. Johnson?
Sir Joshua attempts to lead him into a trap.
I say, as to the good or evil of card-playing,
He's thinking which side he will take.
I say gaming is more dangerous by far than wine and spirits.
who is ruined by trade, sir? By gambling? I reckon there are not more than 6 people in an age, sir. More people are ruined by trade.
You are saying, sir, that the dishonest gambler is good, and the honest tradesman is evil? Has Dr. Johnson deserted his senses?
I did not call the gambler a dishonest man, sir. I call him an unprofitable man, an unsocial man. Gambling is but the transference of property without the creation of any intermediate good. But trade creates employment, and therefore creates intermediate good, and therefore is good.
He has won both sides of the argument.
Dr. Johnson, everyone speaks of the ghost of Cock Lane, of the strange appearances of a man long dead in the vicinity of his former home. What is your opinion? Do you believe it?
Why, madam, I'm so gratified by any evidence of spiritual existence that, well, I'm willing to believe it, yes.
Dr. Johnson, as a dramatist, I'm vexed that you don't go near the theatres anymore. Why is it?
Why, sir, our tastes alter greatly. The young man cares no more for the child's rattle, and the old man cares no more for the young man's wench.
Wench, sir?
Oh, I have seen your new play, sir. She stoops to conquer. And I know of no other comedy in recent years that has so exhilarated an audience. Thus does it satisfy the great end of comedy, that of making an audience merry.
The King speaks of coming to see my play. Not that it would do me the least good.
Oh, well then, sir. Let us say that it'll do him good.
I don't find that worthy of society's attention.
No, sir, it is you who gratify this gathering. Because when people find a man of your distinguished abilities, they're inferior when he is with them. Well, it must be gratifying to them.
Good night, sir. Madam.
Dr. Goldsmith, I ask your pardon, sir.
It has indeed to be much from you, sir. Before I take offense.
I hope we shall remain friends, sir. I cherish you highly.
And I you, sir, as you well know.
Now, come, sir. We have offended each other with our contention. Let us not offend the company with our compliment.
Dear Mr. Goldsmith, are you comfortable, Mr. Boswell?
I am.
Dr. Johnson is in wonderful form. I must note some of his observations.
I noticed you did that.
Quite recently, Mr. Thrale has given me a folder for the keeping of such things. Would you care to see it?
Indeed, I would.
Please.
The delectability of society.
Isn't it handsome?
Thraliana.
A record of the persons and things that have graced our home. A woman's preaching is like a dog's walking on his hind legs. It's amazing to see it done.
Quite what he said. He said, it is not done well, but it is surprising to find it done at all.
I'm sure you're wrong.
Oh, I'm positive that I'm right. I haven't even written it down yet.
Even so, sir, is it so very important?
Accuracy isn't important. You term yourself a friend of Dr. Johnson's, and you can say that.
Sir, I consider myself closer to Dr. Johnson than any other person you can name.
Indeed.
He's been my friend, my guest, my traveling companion, my confidant.
Traveling companion?
Well, not yet. But in the very near future, as soon as Mr. Thrale's business allows him the freedom, Dr. Johnson is going with us to Italy. So, if you will excuse me, sir, I have guests.
Tell me, sir, is that gentleman over there my lord?
Aye, that is Lord Chesterfield.
A cow, madam, in a field, but in a garden it would hardly be...
Every sentence you utter is like an essay.
Oh, thank you, madam.
To think that I am face to face with Dictionary Johnson.
Dictionary?
I have admired you most for that. Such a monumental work.
Thank you, madam.
And it was with such pleasure that I observed that it contains no naughty words.
Why, madam, did you look for them?
Sir, the dictionary is an amusing piece of work. The most amusing definition I have found in it, sir, is where you define the word patron. Well, do us a favor, sir. Quote it for us.
Do me a favor, sir. When you finish that glass of wine, drink no more.
Witty, sir, witty, but not as witty as your definition. Let me quote it for you. Patron, a wretch who supports with insolence and is paid with flattery.
I shall be leaving, sir. Good night.
Have you not the intellectual resources to forego the pleasures of wine?
As you have said, sir, drinking drives away care. Would you not allow a man to drink for that reason?
Yes, sir, if he sat next to you.
Shall we go into supper? Dr. Johnson?
In a moment.
All right. Sir Joyce Morello, will you please come to supper?
I know why you did that, Bossie. I confess that I'd rather be with a man against whom I have to protect my pockets than with someone who will bring me into a dispute with someone so that he may see it.
Seems that you have thoroughly altered your conception of friendship and its loyalty.
What are you talking about, sir?
Will you go to Scotland with your old friend? No, but let the female dangle the fob of Italy before you, and then
I'm beginning to understand.
Well, it is true, is it not?
We'll talk of this
I ask
later.
one thing, sir. Your promise to go with me to Scotland, or our friendship is no longer.
Dr. Johnson, shall we go into supper?
Sir, what of your promise?
Very well. That'll be an end to it.
Supper, madam?